Today wraps up a great week for silver, and the fact that there was no Mr. Slammy Slam making his face known to silver's price today is just icing on the cake. We can declare victory, and we're going to talk about what happened there and why we should be paying attention to what's going on with platinum right now as well. So let's explore. What an amazing day. Many of us were nervous and thinking that there was going to be a massive effort by the big bullion banks to push the price of silver down. But you know what? Maybe this is beyond their control if you believe that there is silver price suppression. What gives? Now, we have seen other Fridays where this has not happened, when we've seen it smacked down. But nonetheless, today is incredibly important because we very well could see silver push right at $36 through the weekend here. And we're going to keep an eye on it. But let's get into what's going on with the markets right now, moments before they close. But before we do that, I want to thank Summit Metals again for sponsoring the channel. They have great prices, and right now gold is down, so it might be a good opportunity if you're in the market for gold. And we're going to be talking about gold, silver, platinum, and palladium here. But check them out. See what they have and if their prices are right for you at summitmetals.com. So gold has fallen. It's the metal that has fallen today, 1.33%. Moments before the markets closed, down $44.70 to $3,308.70. Silver right now is just below $36 an ounce. It was at 36 plus for most of the day today. In fact, it got up to a high of $36.39 earlier in the day. But it is sitting at $35.97. It's up just over a quarter, up 0.74% today. Platinum, though, it surged. It surged 2.46%, up $28 to $1,176 an ounce. That's right. Palladium also had the best day of all the metals. It's up $58 today. Still well below platinum, though. It's resting at $1,066. Rhodium also had a $250 jump to now trading above $6,000 an ounce. It's crazy. Now, what's behind some of this? Well, extending their sharp gains, silver and platinum did, outpacing safe haven gold to hit multi-year highs as Western stock markets rose with copper and crude oil prices, as did lease rates for borrowing the industrially useful precious metal. So there it is. This is one of those days where silver beat Mr. Slammy Slam because of its industrial attributes. That is a pretty big deal for sure. We're not seeing it trade as a precious metal today. We're seeing it trade as an industrial metal. That is what's bailed it out. Now, new data said that gross domestic product across the euro area, the world's third largest currency zone, economically grew 1.5% per year between January and March. 0.3 points faster than the Eurostat's original first quarter estimate. Retail sales across 20-nation Eurozone then leapt past analyst forecasts for April, and the U.S. added more jobs than expected in May, I think 139,000, with average wages of the world's largest economy continuing to rise by 3.9% per year, solidly above the latest inflation data. Silver, platinum, and copper surged past key levels, says precious metal strategist Nikki Shields at Swiss Bullion Refining and Finance Group MKS PAMP. The charts across all three look the same, with technical momentum, improving fundamentals, growing investor interest. That's right. Now, the London fix was set at $36.15 today, which is its highest midday benchmark price in London since the spike of the 29th of February 2012. So there it is. Early 2012, we're seeing kind of silver hit this. So this is good reason to celebrate silver. I know many people in the comments, well, there's enough of them that says, wake me up when it's $50 an ounce. And the thing is, this is like boring, it's like, yes, and I know even adjusted for inflation, it's got a long ways to go, but it's been moving at a healthy pace And it's nice to see, and it's worthy to celebrate. It's what I told one commenter. Says, you're not going to get to $50 until you reach $36. Well, we got 36. Of course, it's since pulled back by then. But you know what? I'm of the mind that even if it goes back down to $34, which the summer has not reached yet, it is not yet summer, and the summer doldrums very well could lead to $34 silver, which is still a massive victory if we go back to 34. Because you know what? I'm telling you, there is a new support, and that is really what I'm celebrating. Not necessarily these big spikes, which, by the way, we could see these disappear next week. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but it's okay, because that means we're settling in at new support. And of course, they could also stick around next week too. In fact, I still think that as we digest what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, Russia has begun their counterstrikes now. It may not have the impact that some people felt, because it's just a lot of bombardment in the cities, of course, taking out power. And in Kyiv, of what I've heard, that's the latest I've heard, which is a big deal, obviously. But nonetheless, unless there's more to it, I don't think it's a grossly escalation. There's not been a tactical nuke that we know of that's been launched. That would be a game changer if they launch a tactical nuke. But I don't think they need to or would. We'll see. But nonetheless, we'll see. But year-to-date, platinum now matches the former monetary metals gain in percentage terms, trading just right, like I said, 1177 right now. This is pretty exciting to see. The collective breakout in industrial metals signals larger capital flows seeking gold alternatives in the debasement de-dollarization narrative, according to Shields from MKS. But each metal has its own unique demand story. Strong physical silver demand in India is industrially related. Resurgent Chinese platinum demand is for investment in jewelry. There is a base metals restocking cycle in China, with copper stockpiles available for delivery against London Metals Exchange contracts falling to 2-year lows. U.S. copper stockpiles have doubled so far in 2025. It's pretty exciting to see. And you know what? It's kind of hit or miss with some of these things as far as where people are speculating the metals to go. Obviously, I ended up being right on my $36 forecast, but I could have easily just been as wrong from one day to the next. But you know what? Speaking of hit or miss, one thing is for sure, that is the game of Russian roulette. It's hit or miss. And that's what I'm bringing you to now. The good folks at Spectre sent to me for review this Russian roulette silver coin here. This is very amazing, really nicely done. This is number 2 that they've sent me here to review for you. 2-ounce, a 999 fine silver coin. Excellent craftsmanship, as is always the case with Spectres. You get this nice packaging, really tough, nice capsule here, beautifully done. We're going to take a look at this thing nice and close. And this is something to behold. Wow, what an amazing piece indeed this is. This is a deadly game of chance. Russian roulette, as most of you know. It's long been a symbol of risk and fatalism, famously depicted in films like The Deer Hunter, with origins that believed date back to the 19th century Russia. This game has permeated history, literature, and pop culture as the ultimate test of luck and courage. The reverse design captures a moment of reckoning. A skull wearing a red headband grips a cigarette between its teeth and presses a revolver to its temple. Behind it, a detailed American roulette wheel with the 00 adds to the tension. Scattered across the table are symbols of vice, vodka battles, glasses, and burnout cigarettes, reinforcing the chaotic stakes of the game. But what makes it unique is its shaped revolver cylinder design that we see on this side. Very, very cool indeed. Very, very well crafted, with indentions along the edges mimicking the real-life chambers of a 6-shot revolver. Also evokes a classic casino chip. So it's pretty wild to see that, how on this side it still has that, but on the other side we see the empty chambers with the bullet here, with the emblazoned on it from the Republic to Chad, making it an actual coin, the denomination indeed, and everything with the weight and fineness there on it. pretty cool. Very neat piece. Very well done. Very well crafted for sure. And you can use my special code SAL20 at checkout to get a discount on this piece if you're interested. I'll post a link down in the description below for those of you interested in this as we get back to talking about platinum and palladium right now, or platinum and silver rather. And we see that what's going on here with silver has begun to come back out of COMEX-approved storage on the U.S. East Coast after swelling by nearly 3/5, while U.S. gold stockpiles have shrunk 15% from the start of April's record high after nearly tripling amid the same fears of import tariffs hitting bullion, driving the COMEX futures contract sharply above London quotes and sucking in the metal. 1-month lease rates for borrowing platinum in London today rose over 1 percentage point to 12.5% per annum, the highest level since March, the end of March eve of Trump's Liberation Day trade tariffs announcement, with precious metals and bullion were explicitly excluded. So silver lease rates meantime edged up 0.5% per annum, the highest in almost 2 weeks, but back under to more normal levels from the tariff panic of 7.5% seen in March, reports here Adrian Ash. And so this is fascinating. We see silver and platinum's fellow industrial precious metal palladium also jumped that we've seen. U.S. Treasury bonds fell in contrast, pushing up Washington's 10-year borrowing cost by 0.08%, points from last Friday to a 2-week high of 4.48%. As a better-than-expected jobs data coincided with President Trump's falling out with former supporter and donor Elon Musk on social media. And by the way, the dollar index indeed is up. It's up 0.42%, and silver's still up today. That's a good sign, but it shows you that silver is trading as an industrial metal. The dollar index is at 99.19 right now. So the markets are going to be closing momentarily. Silver, by the way, is right at $36 right now. $36 is where it could close, or very high 35. So we'll see what happens. And platinum is definitely having a good day and a good week for sure. Yes, indeed. So let me know what your thoughts are on silver and platinum today. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.